seem to have like a smile on your face. And so like felt kind of like a relief. Nothing like that like motivated me to like get up. It's like I got up fast. I wasn't sleepy and coming off.
The approach makes a difference.
Yeah.
And then the attitude which is received in sets the atmosphere. So you're too important to be quiet. You're too big to be silent. It's crazy how you can feel like you're thrown away and make other people feel like they're special. You can feel like you all in the bathroom. You're making people feel like they're just a guest walking through your powder room. You know what they call that? Powder room, party room?
Mm-hmm.
It's like casual for them, but it's like, it's comfortable. I noticed a few things on tonight. I noticed this is where you drop off stuff that's been through you, and you're through with it. This is that location. I think the bathroom was something that was difficult for them to incorporate in the house.
Mm-hmm.
For many years, they didn't even include it. As a matter of fact, you may remember outhouses.
Mm-hmm.
It would sit in the backyard. It would be detached and just be a hole in the ground. Because everything that was deadly or dirty did not deserve space in the house. You got to know that what you're called to do in this season is to expel and expunge. You're not called to attach to it and make it comfortable in your clean space, but you're called to detach and say, this is the saving grace to some people, that you can connect to them and not be influenced by it, that you don't let them come and poop all over you, but you're able to say that sometimes I need distance, space, and resistance to everything that is toxically defining me. Says I need you to do two things. I need you to sell all that you have. I need you to give it to the poor. And I think up until this point, the rich man has no problem with keeping the commandments. But see, when you get personal with it, it goes from persona to personal. We're not just talking about it abstract. Yes, I keep the commandments because you freed me from that. Now you're talking about losing something I had tangibly attached to me. The restroom, bathroom. This is the walkway to clean. And oftentimes it'll get dirty in the process, but you come out clean. You got to know what God calls from you. It may hurt you to get rid of it, but you'll come out clean on the other end of it. This is not supposed to be significant to make you feel special. It's significant to make you feel it, that it'll become evident that it was nobody but God that brought you through it. The restroom is where you come and take baths then. It's places where you have to run water in a container that's not loose, but it's attached to walls and the floor. You got to be planted in a solid place. It says, I want you to be steadfast, unmovable, ever abiding in the work of the Lord. That in the day that your deeds may prove you and you're not found lacking anything. I know that you're not lacking anything because you're not detached. But even in a place where people don't want you, you're still glued to the identifier that God still calls purpose over you. It don't matter if people like you, you're glued to purpose. It don't matter if they want to use you or talk bad to you, you're still glued into purpose. I know that you can beat up a bathtub. It's not going anywhere. You see, it's made of, the old one was ivory. Now, ivory is malleable, but it's like marble. This is kind of unscopable. I know you've been through it, but God washed you into the position, into the shape, into the status that you're in, so that people can use you and you not be affected by it. But you've got to know that you're still in place. You're still in place. Still in place. You know, I'm gonna tell you something. I think sometimes being real is necessary. But I think being real hurts too bad. So we'd rather like fake it than talk about it. Because the truth don't sound pretty all the time. The truth that you're like tired and sick of it, that you want it to be better but not seeing it. It's not as difficult as they think when you get used to the face. It becomes like part of your wardrobe. You just put it on and go through life smiling on the outside but dying on the inside. Feel like the only way that you can get over is by going through. So I appreciate your company tonight, but this ain't for you. Just preach to myself to the coming out. You gotta do that. You gotta preach to yourself that the clouds are rolling away. You gotta preach to yourself that this won't kill you. It may feel bad to you. It may hurt you. But it won't kill you. It's hard to prophesy. It's hard to preach, to take it for more than like a text or a book or like abstract. It's like you see the miracle, but as soon as like the minute of the miracle is over, you forget it. Your mind makes up logic for why, how. I guess what I did work. And And the problem is that it's not that we don't believe in God. It's just that he's so easily forgettable. That's the problem with being omnipresent. That you're everywhere, but you're nowhere. So I struggle. I do. I struggle with saying I'm fine and I don't feel it. I struggle with smiling when I'm sad on the inside. I struggle showing up fighting when I already feel defeated. You get up and everything mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually want to stay laying down. And I wonder how many people out there feel that but can't say it. How many people want to quit but can't leave it? Want to turn into 2 weeks but don't know how they're going to make it. You want to pull over on the side of the road and just stay there. But you can't. Not when there's other people depending on you. I really, really, really believe that's where Hannah is. I wasn't going to use her. It's going to use Jesus on the cross, but I think we've nailed him too many times. It says, I'm showing up to the house with the husband, smiling on my face because I'm the wife, but I'm sad on the inside because he has another one. Well, it's not that they're cheating, it's just that their attention goes somewhere else. You take on that guilt to think maybe I should blame them, but it's not them, it's what you're impotent in. It says her body, her womb is shut up. Can't deliver. You ever been praying but couldn't get delivered? Ever folk had put oil on you, anoint you, say the grace and the gift of God was all over you. They would prophesy to you, but you'd never get delivered. I know that one day she's had it, right? She's done with it, right? So I can't do this no more. God, I need you to show up, or I'm not never coming up in here no more. I don't need you to be far off. I need you to be personal. It's crazy how we speak about the goodness of him, but we never see the greatness of God. Not personal. You have stories of David, but that's David. You got stories of them, but that's not you. She shows up in church. I could imagine like the voice that she's using, but like the sounds coming out of her mouth, like they're probably not pleasant. So she's causing a disturbance, right? But she's so loud. But she's not making sense. God, what I've been through, what I need you to bring me out of, don't make sense. There's no point in addressing, having prayer meeting when won't nobody understand the hell I've been facing. You try to explain it to people and they just don't get it. try and vent, and it's like above them, it's over their head. It's not that people are slow or stupid. Said it just don't make sense. You don't know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about God, it's over my head, but I ain't drowned yet. It just don't make sense. How she's still getting pregnant, but the womb shut up and just won't deliver. Where the babies go? It just don't make sense. Are we working and never seeing the reward? How you prophesying and speaking it, but never actually walking into it? God, I don't want to call you a liar, but I'm going to tell you, it just don't make sense. We said to pray and ask anything, and we've been asking, we've been praying, we've been beseeching, but some stuff to me just don't make sense. Excuse me for being offensive, but it don't make sense to me. It says Eli came up to her. Have you been drinking? So I may have had a few. But the prayer on the inside that you're seeing, that's coming out, is not from the wine. It's from the men. Are you so used to being treated bad that you come to a place to not know good and be corrected, but you come to a place where you've been bad and have had enough of it? So it ain't the wine, it's the other women. I'm tired of being connected to people who I call friends, and these hoes acting like they enemies. It's not the wine, it's the kids that I birthed and bear. But when I need somebody, ain't nobody showing up, ain't nobody coming to help me here or there. It's not the wine, it's the job. I show up when don't nobody else do overtime, work hard for them. And they just gonna let me go like that? It's not the wine. It's my time God has been wasting, telling me to pray in a prayer that he never hears because he never answers, because he never shows up. It's not the wine. It's the womb. I want to have a son, but I can't. He says, I don't need to know all of that. So whatever you ask him for, I pray he give it to you. Yeah, that's what he said. I cannot tell you where you are in your journey. I cannot tell you what you've been through. I cannot speak to the storm that was behind you, chasing you, that brought you here. I can only prophesy to everything that is in front of you, saying that you were delivered from there. That you got to know that the test of God is not that you learn to regurgitate bad habits. It's not that you become selective in your speech and just be silent to your storm. It's for you to come here and testify whatever I've asked for. God's going to give it to me. It don't matter how impossible it looks. He says, does anything seem too hard for God? That's what he said to Sarah, Abraham's wife, who wasn't supposed to bear a son but had one anyway. He says, whatever you want, may God give it to you anyway. It don't matter what it looked like on the outside. It may be shut up, dusty, and dead, but may God do it anyway. May God dispute their doubt and come in the room and develop and mature and make it maternal where it was impotent. He said, may he give you whatever it is that you want. And I know a baby comes in what, 9 months? 9 months.
Yeah. Well, 10, but not 10.
9 months. I don't know no 10-month-old baby born.
4 weeks.
No 9 months. between 38 and 39. Can I announce to somebody, good God, hey God, you didn't know that this was September. It just almost went out, and you didn't understand that you in the ninth month. You got to know on tonight that God says what I've been putting inside of you is something bigger than you. That's why it's challenging for you to hold it. It's not that folk coming to make fun of you. It's that they realize the gift that's on you that you ain't recognized yet. It's on the inside of you. That's just what he said to Hannah. He says, whatever it is that you're asking for, may he give it to you. But God is beyond what any man could ever speak, that he'll go back and make sure that you're already forming it, that you're already pregnant with it. He says, may God give it to you, but God already gave it to her. So she went home, saw her husband, and then there was a baby. I don't know if she went home and went to the doctor, if she went home and had sex. I don't know if she went home and just gave birth, but I know that it was already in her. You got to know everything that God said you needed to survive is already in you. It's in you to come here and not die. It's in you. It's in you to push forward and not let that doubt that deter you. It's in you. It's in you that you can dream again and build it. It's in you. That you can envision it and grow from it. It's in you. That you can mature about it and learn to speak to other people in it still, that they can come out too. It's in you. It's in you. And she says, God, I don't just want to be talking about it, but I want to walk into it. Well, I'm pregnant with the purpose, but I don't know how to form the vision. I don't want to sit here and pray about it. I want to walk into the pay of it. It says she had to leave church. And sometimes you got to leave a comfortable place. I know praying was important, but leave there. I know praising God for last season was important, but sometimes you have to leave there. I know that reading and studying and fasting and praying was important, Noah, but you have to leave there and start building. He says, I want to see it. And God told her, walk. He says, walk. That's what he said. He said, walk. Not to Hannah, to the Israelites, 40 years. But she's already in her 9th month. She says, I really can't do much walking, that's what Hannah said. He said, just go to the house. This is when she got home. She commenced with her husband. And they birthed it. It wasn't in her womb, it was in the house. I know you're trying to find out why it's so heavy, why it's so hard, why it's straining, stretching, and stressing, why you seem like you pulled in every direction, that your credit doing hoop-de-loops, that you trying to find out where the income coming in and who taking it out of here. This is, I'm just building the house. You thought it was on you, but he was building it for you to put it in it, so that you can get it off of you and give them room so they can go to. It says it's in the house. And that's for somebody renting on tonight to know that God is building the house. That's why you ain't found one yet, because God's been building it. That's why you ain't seen it yet, because there was people already occupying it. That's why you couldn't find anything that was in your range, because God had to develop it. He had to mature it. He was getting the plans ready for it. He was putting the final nail in it. He was building it. He said, it's in the house, but I need you to go to the house and then take the husband with you. It said nothing about the other wife. You got to be selected to this is my calling and our purpose. And we got to walk into our destined place believing that everything that I dream, that God's going to bring it to pass. Everything I will believe, I'm not talking about it, but I'm about to walk in it. Everything I could pray. And God says, stop praying even on the day I heard you yesterday. He says, regardless if your womb is shut, I'm going to make it happen for you anyway. It's going to happen anyway. It may not feel like it right now, but it's going to happen. You believe that? you gotta believe it so much when you catch it, you can get up and walk away on it. I ain't praying about it no more. I prayed my last prayer. I done petitioned enough. God, I believe you to be there when I get there. No, she can't have no baby. Just let me put it in his name stamp. I prayed for this. So when everybody looks at this, want to judge it and talk about it, want to be like, you, God bless you. I know you're having a hard time, baby. Don't worry about that. I've prayed for this. I prayed for hard days in a house where we would be stressed about how we gonna pay this light bill. I've prayed for this. You don't know the heartache that they see. It's the heartache that you stayed up praying about. Thank God for these kinds of problems. Thank God that we're stressed about which one are we going to go to tomorrow. It's not if we got something to go to. We prayed for this. You can't forfeit the challenge of what you prayed for when God blessed you to see what you prayed for. I prayed for this. Prayed for days to have somebody to argue with because I was sitting at home by myself. And there's folks that want to talk about, oh man, I wouldn't deal with that. I know you wouldn't deal with it. That's why you ain't got nobody with you to deal with it. And you go through everything by yourself. I prayed for this. Now, don't let them folk talk that stuff all over you. I wouldn't let them talk to me like that. That's why you ain't got no job or no dream, because you wouldn't let nobody talk to you. See, I prayed for this. I prayed for this, and ain't nothing you can say that'll doubt me of my purpose and what I prayed for. God delivered me from your opinion. I prayed for that. I ain't worried about what you gotta say in this season. I ain't worried about what faces you make if you want to come and sing and shout or support or block. It says I ain't worried about none of that. I prayed for this. I prayed to be stress free and devil free. I prayed for these kind of problems of which car I'm going to take today, because the Range ain't got no gas in it, but the Bentley got a quarter of a tank. I prayed for this. I prayed that my family would be trying to find out in church how we going to get out of the building without having pissed somebody off because we leaving way after time. I prayed for this. Prayed to have 3 and 4 houses, trying to find out which one we going to give away. I prayed for this. This stress, folk can't understand it. It just don't make sense. And I can't express it. It just don't make sense. And they looking at it, trying to understand it, trying to figure it out. Maybe don't waste your time. Some stuff just won't make sense. But God did it anyway.
You're welcome.